Hi everybody, Manovermars here. I just wanted to show something fun that I was working with over the weekend. I'm big into retro games. I used to do retro speedruns, Game Boy speedruns specifically, competing against other people around the world for beating games as fast as possible, stuff like that. Real nerd stuff. So I've spent the weekend, well, one night, watched a YouTube video tutorial and took some artwork that I had already had made as comps, from a few years ago, and put together this quick little game demo. So we got like a bunch of different scenes. You can see there's a collision. That's what these red blocks are. You can talk to NPCs. I haven't figured out this list thing yet, but this is something really cool. You can create like quest lists that people have to do, and you can also make platformers and space shooters and all kinds of other games with this program. But I already had a bunch of artwork for a top-down game, so let me show you. This game is actually playable. Like I said, it only took me a couple hours to throw together with no prior knowledge. So we got ourselves a little game logo here. This game is playable, so we can do a new game. There's no music right now because it's hard to talk over, but adding music is really easy. So there's this little bat, Storf, who I can walk around. As you can see, it's got the Game Boy color palette. It's to me this is beautiful. I love Game Boy Green, but it can be painted over in this program to be more like Game Boy Color. It's not full Game Boy Color, but it's kind of like that. But you can see I can transition to different scenes. I can set this up to where I can set where the player spawns in the different scene, what direction they're facing, all that stuff. We got collision. I can't walk into these things. I probably could set it up so that like this would even cause damage. But we got ourselves a little NPC over here that we can talk to. So let's go talk to him. I'm so dry, bro. So you can see I can very easily set it up to talk to NPCs and give out information. We got ourselves a little skeleton in the desert here. But we can go to different places here. We got this little spot up here. I could make these little signs. I could make them readable. They're not readable right now. I have collision set up so he can't swim. I do have like a sprite to make it look like he's swimming, but I don't know how to do that yet. So, and I can make these things animated. I can make the water look like it's moving, stuff like that, as long as it fits into the Game Boy limitations. Let's go into Storf's house here. There's a little bat that lives in a tree house. This is a stock room. I didn't get a chance to build the inside of his house. I just wanted to make it a quick test. I did have to modify some of the artwork just to make it look like when you go from one scene to the next. But you can see here you got stuff you can set up real easily. I did add this little zombie here, this cute little zombie that fits into the Game Boy. This top-down limitations of 16 by 16 pixels. That's all you have to work with. And this bat is, I'm pretty sure, 16 pixels wide by 16 pixels tall. So same thing with the zombie. He's a little bit skinnier, but we can talk to him. Have you tried using this radio? No, I haven't. Let's give it a shot. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. So you can turn it off and on. I love Game Boy music. I used to run, co-host a retro video game music podcast that had gotten quite popular, called Pixelated Audio. I was on it for 100 episodes, and then I decided to leave the show to do something different. But we had composers on from around the world that had made, really, amazing games. My co-host actually spoke Japanese, so we were the only podcast to have Japanese composers on in the video game music genre. And I mean, we talked to all kinds of people. My last episode, we talked to the composer of Crash Bandicoot, and all kinds of fun stuff. So I might be able to pull some connections to get some, if I actually make a game to get, maybe even like a well-known retro composer to make some music. That'd be sick. So we fell down this well here, went to go get ourselves a little bit of water, and we slipped, fell down. This is another stock room, but it shows we can have animated save spots, and this could look like anything. This could be like a little bug or something, something bat related. But We could have little animated stuff in the background. Another NPC. This NPC could be animated. They could walk around. They could talk. They could, do all kinds of stuff. We can talk to them. Hey, what's up, Boothang? Have you ever heard of Manovermars? They're a beast. So you can see here, I can have like an actual conversation to give out multiple lines of dialogue. I chose some very pertinent information for you guys to check out, but yeah, so there's a lot of possibilities. I'm so excited. Like I said, this is all my artwork, and seeing it move around is, I'm tickled. I'm so pumped. Like, I could make his little mailbox something you could interact with, but that's all I have for right now. There's a lot of limitations. There's a lot to learn. These scenes, like this little pasture with the house and all that stuff, can be a lot bigger than this. This is just the size I already had the artwork made. So we can make it so we're gonna walk around like in Pokemon. It scrolls, the screen scrolls with you and stuff like that. So there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do with the top-down stuff. You can have battles, you can have boss fights, you can have all kinds of stuff. But I'm still learning, and this was just a couple hours on a weekend after watching one YouTube tutorial from a guy that has tutorials on every aspect of making games. So including pixel art or RNG and all that stuff. So this is something that I want to mess with. I do have some plans for it as part of a project. It hasn't been announced yet, so once it's announced, I'm sure you'll see some updates. But I'm very excited. This is something super cool, and and I can actually publish this in a web browser. So this could be put on a website. It can be published for mobile without making any changes, and it can also be put out on as a ROM that can be put on a cartridge and played on real hardware. Like, I could play this on a Game Boy or a Super Nintendo with a Super Game Boy, if you guys know about that. But yeah, I'm so excited. I don't know if you can tell. I don't really talk a whole lot, so some people might think it's just how I talk, but I normally am not this excited. So I just wanted to share this, see if I get some other people excited, maybe get some other people to try to make some games, and get more stuff out there. Just I'm excited to see other people, see what they do with information like this. So anyway, I'll see you guys